brewing. So they are going to begin to burn properties in Rivers State soon. The police are going to start shooting at the Fubara himself soon. The scenario of Rotifmi Amechi is going to replay itself on Fubara, but Fubara will kind of like come out better because he's the executive governor, where the assembly can sit. I mean, they've actually even amended their law. Even if Tifnubu declares state of emergency, he can't remove governor. Now the House of Assembly ain't go come out. But you remember that time of Obasanjo? So that is why sometimes you can see what desperation can do to you. Miscalculation. Where a wiki possibly miscalculated. And now he is so desperate because you can't impeach him. If you impeach him, you will need to, possibly get his deputy impeached as well. Because it seems that they are together. Then, if you impeach both of them, you would have to appoint speaker as the governor, the acting governor. So the whole thing is that even if you declare state of emergency, Fubara will still be there. So it is now going to be yam, pepper, scatter, scatter. Ishuata, yon, right? In River State. But let's move away from River State and stop in Benin. There has been wahala brewing. The wahala that a lot of people believe is politically motivated. Others believe that no, it is not. But here is the situation. About 2-3 weeks ago, the Oba of Benin suspended 2 chiefs for meeting Ooni of Ife. But before then, there's been kind of like an ongoing plan to replicate what Gandola did with the Kano Emirates. There used to be one emir of Kano controlling so many of their emirates, and they say it's the emir of Kano. But because of the Sanusi saga, that Sanusi was asking the State House of Assembly to impeach Gandola for collecting dollar bribe on video, pocketing it into his Babariga mobile bank. So because of that, so Sanusi had to go. So Gandola removed Sanusi as emir, and that used to be like a revered seat. You understand? So when Gandola removed Sanusi, so he now created 7 emirates or so. Okay? So reducing the influence of the emir of Kano by creating emirates where they are not just local chiefs, they are emirs themselves too. Emir of Bishi, emir of Biu, emir of this or that. So they said there's a similar plan in Edo State to whittle down the influence of Oba of Benin. And you know that the Benin people and their traditional Oba, now even yesterday I know say Oba of Benin is called the God King. Is that really a thing? That's how much they revered him. Okay? And somehow they believe that it is a sacrilege to want to use politics, all right, to whittle down the influence of the Oba. Something that is not created by the palace, will not be created from outside the palace. And anyone from within the palace is not expected to be part of anything that is being plotted from outside the palace. Something like this. So that has now become an issue whereby the suspended chiefs have now taken the Oba to court. And again, that is a sacrilege. The Benin people believe that if not because of Lord Lugard and their agents, the palace of the Oba is where the palace of Oba is a court. Oba himself is a judge. A judge, they believe, appointed by gods themselves. He is the representatives of the gods. And among so many other, declining cultures and traditions across Nigeria, the Benin people strongly hold that faith and believe that the Oba is revered. And if you are a genuine Benin, from Benin, you will never be part of any plot, okay, to whittle down the influence of that institution. But it is being whittled down. People are reacting. Obaseki is being blamed. Obaseki is being blamed for being behind it. But Obaseki is denying that no, he has nothing to do with it. It is justified between chiefs. But people do not believe him. Here is a bit of a background story reported by the Benin TV.
Of the Nigerian Television Authority, led by its Agwe Zonal Director, Benin Network Center, Mrs. Pauline Igbano, in his palace, where he honored her, Oba II assured that Edo State government would not accede to the request of disgruntled dukes who spearheaded a petition in November 2022. The petition was seeking the creation of parallel Benin traditional councils across the 7 local government areas in Benin Kingdom. The royal father appreciated Governor Baseki for not acceding to such requests and called on loyalists to rally, support, and defend Benin culture and tradition, which belong to Nigerians and remain a source of pride to everyone. His Royal Majesty Oba II, who clarified that being a Benin Duke is not a political appointment but a cultural assignment, one that the Benin throne would not tolerate a situation where the same structure that was created by Oba Palace would be used to rubbish Benin culture and tradition by way of scheming or scamming.
We cannot create something that will bring us down, for goodness sake. We created a unique structure. The authority they have emanates from here. It's not a political appointment, it's a cultural assignment. We thank Godwin Obaseki for not acceding to that their request, for not giving them any listening ear. And I do hope he will not. We will continue to work hard to build upon the legacy of our ancestors.
That's someone Oba Nedo, the Oba of Benin. Appreciating Obaseki for not using his power to accede to the request of some people who are trying to usurp the power of the Oba of Benin. And like I said, it doesn't matter how you feel about this. If you are not from Benin, you are never going to really understand how it feels. I mean, again, a lot of you might call it anything, but there are still people that despite all of the infiltration, manipulation, adulteration to different traditions and cultures everywhere, including that of Benin, there are still some remnants of originality left. There are still original people, indigenous people who hold this belief very strongly, no matter how you see it, no matter how the whole place is changing. Even when the law in Nigeria has reduced the Obas to just ceremonial, figureheads, many people don't see it that way. And like I said, if you're not from there, you may never really understand it. About early in the morning, early momo, you want to carry your battle court in Benin, in his kingdom. And you know that it's so unfortunate that when Aduke, my Aduke, our own Aduke, I don't know if you're watching, Aduke continued to insist on education. the importance of education, the what do you call it, the power of educated populace. You understand what I mean now? Like, a lot of us can easily get pissed off if somebody says something that we believe is insulting to the traditional institutions that we were from, wherever we come from. But yet we are not offended that all those institutions, as historical as they are, they are just now appearing or existing on a mere paper that ordinary local government chairman can tear apart, collect his crown, and demolish his palace and erase the entire title. You will, of course, you will protest, you will fight, you will be like, hey, yeah, but last, the law says now local government, they control the traditional institutions everywhere, not even states. It's like the Obas, the traditional institution, they put them under the local government. But for the sake of fakeness that Nigeria is, they call them first class Oba, second class Oba. But in reality, they are just a decorative monuments to remind us of our history. There is no real authority anywhere, right? But that again will not deny the fact that no matter all of this adulteration, all of this manipulation and this, right, distortions, right, there are people who still hold this belief very strongly. And right through, true to it as well. A lot will die for it, for that belief. And if you probably haven't seen how people hold their culture and tradition so revered, then maybe you should check the Edo people. Sometimes what they will say to you may not make sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to you. Okay? But it makes a lot of sense to them. That's probably why, if history is really taught, if education is in Nigeria, you will realize that if there's anything that is worth fighting for, maybe this one, maybe not this way, but it is just also to remind the rest of you that if you value your culture and tradition, your traditional institutions, if you value them so much, read the book, read the fake laws that actually now guards them. And you realize that any of your Oba can actually be arrested and handcuffed. Any of your first class, including Oba of Benin, can be dragged to any court. Your culture and our tradition have been already, sort of modded, like it's already been rolled in the mud. We watch them do it, desecrated, politicized. Now, in most places, we now have the political traditional rulers. People who are supposed to be speaking for their people, they are now speaking against their people. So for those who still have theirs left, well, don't call them mad. This is how strong people can defend this tradition and culture. Don't take our Oba to court. And early Momo in Benin High Court too. The Benins were there. No, you can't do that. That is so illegal in the face of your Nigeria law. You cannot intimidate the court or stop them from doing their work. You should join us to demand for a true federal system whereby everyone can have an autonomous regions, even if you don't want to support the breakup of Nigeria right away. When you look at that fake document that you call the 1999 Constitution, you will realize that majority of us are just living on the fables and lies they told us. In reality, most of the things they told us to be proud of, they don't exist anymore. So all of them, in that same court premises, could be arrested, and the law says so, but the tradition says no. Abi, this is Benin, but you have no idea. All of us can do this now. Okay, we can. But the system is already so broken without your consent, without my consent, without any of us's consent. It's all foisted on us. That is why we are advocating for the breakup of that contraption. It is to save you. It is to save whatever is left of us. Save us from this identity crisis. Your institutions will be rubbished. Okay? And it has gotten to a stage whereby very soon you are going to see the surge in campaign by so many groups demanding for the complete eradication of traditional rulers. It's going to be gradual. It's going to happen. A lot of people believe that they have outlived their relevance. But if you don't want that, if you don't want your own traditionals to be erased, gradually and gradually, you will demand for the renegotiation of this contraption. It's for your good, it's for my own good too. But the current one is not for anybody's good. No, it's not. I mean, a journalist, right, did an investigation on a particular government appointee. And the investigation came back as confirmed. There was an establishment of corruption perpetuated by this government appointee. Adejoke Adefolure happened to be the former deputy governor of Lagos State, to Fashola. Then later, an appointed SA, senior special advisor to Bokwari on Millennium Development Goals, MDG. Maybe you know Millennium Development Goal. Goal 1, food. Goal 2, housing. Goal 3, education. Goal 4, healthcare. Goal 5, this. Goal 6, all that. They shall have all the goals. It's about 15 of them. These are the goals they believe could address the basic urgent need of the people to tackle poverty. And they have been at it for God knows since when. Now, Bokwari appointed this woman as his special advisor on Millennium Development Goals. And they are usually there to carry out some projects like reconstruction of schools, or even building or constructing new buildings in schools. So they have special project. That special project, right, is normally meant for the UBEC, Universal Basic Education, to start with, or Universal Healthcare, whatever. They shall have all the names like that, okay? So this was supposed to be under the Ministry of Education, but Adejoke Adefolure used their office to award over 400 million naira contracts to a restaurant in Abuja. And the restaurant was supposed to build 2 blocks of a classroom, 2 blocks of classrooms in somewhere in Lagos. Another 2 blocks of classrooms somewhere in Ondo, right? These 2 classrooms were not built, but the money was paid out. And these journalists investigated, presented all the evidence, including the bank accounts where the money was moved into, the names of the restaurants, and all of that. And Adejoke Adefodure is walking about right now. She is walking about right now as a free person. The money is gone. There's no school built. The police didn't investigate to say, oh, thank you so much for bringing this to our notice. The EFCC didn't investigate. The police IG declared the journalist wanted. When they couldn't find him, they decided to kidnap him. Of course, they got him. He was kidnapped in Lagos. Kept incommunicado from his family. Nobody knew his whereabouts. Then his colleagues started raising the alarm. What the hell? What's going on? Free Daniel Ojukwu. Free Daniel Ojukwu. Suddenly, they said they are charging him for cyberbullying. He is bullying the former SSA to president. That his report is bullying. And that is why the police arrested him. They didn't arrest him. There was no arrest warrant. No nothing. He was kidnapped. And it's been over 7 days now, by the way. Somebody who is doing his job to possibly bring to the notice of the authority that a crime has been committed is meant to come around, and his report should be used as evidence, Abi, while the police carry out their investigation and invite the said person. But no, the journalist was kidnapped and locked up. There is no court appearance, no court trial, no nothing, until people raise alarm. Take a look at him inside the office of the police IG when they moved him to Abuja 4 days ago. A journalist, too. EFCC chairman no still dey for jail. Politician weighing the probe don't enter for power. Ewo. EFCC chairman still dey for jail. Well, he no dey for jail anymore. Politician weighing the probe don't enter for power. Ewo. That's what Nigeria is right now. And Omoyele Sowore and others. They decided to eat the streets today, demanding for the release of this journalist. That is your Nigeria. Watch this.
Can you raise your left hand up? Yes. No, put your hand down. Your own down. Yeah.
Thank you. Free Ojukwu now! 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 Free
biggest owners of newspapers, radio stations, and TV stations.
Yes.
In fact, his TV station is somewhere here.
We want freedom.
Why are they not arresting TTC and the nation workers because of the publications they are making? It's because of press freedom. But what we have heard is that the IGP, Mr. Igetoku, has a personal stake in this matter.
Yes.
Because FIJ Nigeria, Foundation for Investigative Journalists, one of the best foundation investigating crimes in official quarters, wrote a story that linked the IGP also with a crime. But the IGP of the police has no right to use the police to oppress anybody.
Yes.
Because it's not his personal property.
Yes.
And we must remind the IGP that his time here is just a few more months.
4 months.
He's going to leave in September. I heard that he's trying to extend his tenure. Let him forget his tenure will never be extended.
Yes.
He should go and ask